Welcome to Lexan Productions. This is my car. And yes, it's a 2010 Fiesta. Now this vehicle costs £2,500, which to me was an absolute bargain. Paid for it outright, as you would do, because it's so cheap. So yeah, it's just a 1.4 litre. It's a 4-cylinder. It's about 95 brake horsepower, but I do believe that quite a few horses have escaped over the time, especially on the hills. They seem to have disappeared. Anyway, it runs great for its age. It's just done over 90,000 miles now. When I bought it, it was about 89, so I've done about 2,000 miles in the last 3 months on it. So not too bad. I love the colour. This is called Squeeze, which is a lime green, which I really like actually. It stands out. I like cars that stand out. I'm not a fan of black cars or silver cars or white cars. I want to be able to find my car in a car park, and this one you certainly can. To be fair, the condition of it's okay. There's a bit of a stone chips here in the bonnet. There's one dent there, and I think there's a dent around the other side, but that's about it. The car it's fairly good. Actually, one of the things it has got in it's got one of those heated windshields, which in the winter months, it's been absolutely brilliant, absolutely fantastic. It actually works and it actually clears. So that's a plus on, well, quite a few brands actually out there. So this little Fiesta is pretty good. Anyway, I'll tell you what, let's have a look around it. I'll show you some bits and bobs in it, and write down in the comments if you think it's worth £2,500 or what else I could have bought for £2,500. I'll be quite interested. So you want to see the features? It's got standard halogen headlights, it's got halogen fog lamps, it's got a grille, there's no parking sensors on it anywhere on this vehicle. What I do like about this car is it came with this matching badge in the middle, which is I prefer blue, so maybe change that in the future. But it's got everything you need. It's got cruise control, it's got auto lights, auto wipers. I mean, for the price, why would I need anything more modern? Okay, it doesn't have touchscreens or anything like that inside, but so moving down to the alloys, it's got 16-inch alloy wheels, comes wrapped in Yokohama tires. When I got the car, there was a massive squeak coming from the driver's side wheel. Took these wheels off yesterday and the brake disc and pads are completely shot, so upgraded to Brembo. Can't go wrong, at least we can now stop properly. So moving up from the 16-inch alloy wheels, we have power fold heated wing mirrors with built-in indicators. These are halogen indicators. You've got the privacy glass, which moves from the B-pillar backwards. Got these lovely chunky door handles, nice and easy to use, nice big front doors as well. This car is the 5-door version, so you also get obviously doors at the back of this vehicle too. You've got your filler cap here, which is dead easy to use. It's really simple. The great thing about it is there's no caps or anything like that. It's also set up so that you can only put a standard everyday unleaded fuel in it. You can never misfuel this vehicle. The diesel just won't fit in there. Lovely body coloured bumpers. Down here you've got some reflectors. On the other side, that reflector is actually the rear fog lamp. So moving around the back, you've got a tiny little spoiler with a built-in centre brake light. You've got the forward badge. There's no parking sensor on this car. It's really simple, easy to use. And then you've got this huge boot which hosts this many litres. So there you have it. Those are the exterior features, if that is a word for this car, of the 2010 Fiesta. The only thing left to do now is have a look inside. I'd love to show you in the back of here, but I've got 2 child seats, so it has got ISOFIX points. Maybe I will show you. I have put a centre armrest in there, which also has USB points in it too, so I've got 4 USB points in the back. It also has some little map pockets, or iPad pockets as we call them these days. It is a 60-40 split rear seat, so you can use it for trips to IKEA or whatever you need to do with a 60-40 split. I don't honestly know why that is a feature of cars or why the manufacturers think it's a good feature. For me, it's if you put the seats down or not. If you've got 2 seats in the back of it, child seats, especially ISOFIX, you're gonna have to take those out anyway, so you may as well take the whole thing down. That's just me. Anyway, let's have a look inside. This is obviously the main event, which is the driver's cockpit. Here we are. Talk about that later. So this is the driver's cockpit. First impressions are It looks like something out of 2010. It's got this, which is designed to be like a phone. Not really sure how that looks like a phone. Maybe it looks like a Nokia, but most people probably won't even know what that is. So there we go. So what it has got is it's got a CD player. I haven't got any CDs anymore, but I'm sure it works probably. Maybe get that tested. It's got radios, has got the auxiliary input, but what I'm using is this, and this was bought from Amazon. It's called a U-Green, and it literally is, it's a Bluetooth receiver, and it plugs directly into the auxiliary socket, and then pairs with my phone, and that gives me music on the fly that I want to listen to. It has got a little screen here as well, which shows basically the car doors are open, the boot's open, the lights are on or off. It shows the time, you know, time and date. That's about it, really. I mean, okay, you can have your car set up on there as well, so you can set up your wing mirrors, whether they fold in or out when you lock it, whether the lights come on, and how many, you know, how long those lights stay on for. Just basic features you'd see on most modern cars today, but I guess at the time in 2010, this is the top spec of the car. So this is a titanium spec, so cool features. Great feature for me is got air conditioning, which works, and it's climate control. So you just set the temperature you want. Again, standard features these days. But the best feature on this is the heated windscreen, which come icy days, icy mornings, it's an absolute, well, it's just amazing. It's a godsend, really. Every single car should have that. I am still surprised that here we are in 2025 and not many cars have it. So come on, manufacturers, you can just step your game on that. Steering wheel is a steering wheel. It's got volume controls, and if you had a CD in there, I guess you could skip the tracks. You can also skip the radio stations on there as well. It's got pre-programmed radio stations up to 6. It's got cruise control with speed limiter. Can't live without cruise. Every car should have that as standard, and I think it is now standard. I did install a center armrest because, you know, having an armrest in a car is just so much more comfortable, especially when you're driving a manual. I just love them. This one has got features, got some storage in there. It's got place for your phone as well, which is completely separate from that storage. It's got USB powers, so we've got 2 USB at the front, I've got 4 USB at the back. It's also got a cup holder in it as well. Brilliant. Cup holders are down here and they're still usable, which is good. I don't know what that's for. It's just, actually what I've been using it for is my child in the morning has an apple. She gives me the core, and I put the core there until I get to a bin. So I don't know if that's a feature or not, but that's what we use it for. The seats themselves, I mean, to be honest, they've aged quite well. They're not worn. I mean, they are worn, obviously, but they're not too bad. Actually, there's no holes on them or anything like that for the mileage. And the seats are in what I would consider quite good nick, to be fair. In fact, the entire car is in good nick. I mean, look how clean it looks in here. Obviously, I've cleaned it, but when I got it, it was clean. It's got a rear view mirror, which is dimming. So, again, a great feature. I love a dimmable rear view mirror. Can't stand the ones where you have to flip it. It just seems daft to me. You've got, ambient lighting. That's it. It's got ambient lighting, which runs along here. There's ambient lights that come here, so it lights this whole area in red. It's also got entry lights, and they just dim down. It's quite nice little feeling. Yeah, there we go. So that's all those features done. Wait for this car to pass, and I'll talk about this. So the only thing I've added is one of these. Again, you can get these things off Amazon or other places. It just sucks onto there, put it down, do that, grab your phone, shove it in, turn it around. Now I've got a screen for maps. Why would you need one of those big clunky screens in your car? Anyway, I'm sure people will be commenting and saying, wow, a screen, and all this stuff like that. But to be honest, you know, for £2,500, I don't understand why we're going out buying new cars left, right and centre. It just seems redonkulous to me. Yes, there's obviously the EV and the electric revolution, but if you're on a budget, like I clearly am and was, I can't see the point in spending £200-300 or even more now, about £400 a month on a car. So all that's left to do is take this car for a ride. So this is the Fiesta 2010, driving in, well, the Yorkshire Moors. The gearbox itself is, for its age, is quite smooth. There's no trouble getting into any gears whatsoever. The steering is light actually, it's quite nippy. I do like driving this car, it's just quite fun. It's much more fun than a certain Peugeot 3008 I was driving just a few months ago, and that was a 24-plater. There is a loud, well, I say loud, there is road noise coming from the vehicle, but you know, in this kind of price bracket, £2,500, you know, I'm not grumbling at all. Clearly, the new brakes allow you to stop on the dime, which is what you need really. The engine itself has had its timing belts done, apparently, so no dramas on that scope. I did have a few problems when I first purchased the car, obviously not just the brakes itself. Had to replace the indicator stork because it wouldn't work. It works, but it wouldn't stay on, so you'd have to hold it on around a roundabout until you wanted to get to where you wanted it to be. Obviously if it was an Audi, it wouldn't be a problem, but this isn't an Audi, I'm not an Audi driver, so I had that replaced. I did it myself. It was very, very simple. The only other thing was going on, there was a rattling noise coming from the underneath of the vehicle. That was the heat shield. I went onto the place called Amazon. I bought some little, basically little round discs, and they just go onto the, and basically just holds it back on again. I'll put a link in the description for those as well. But that's all really. So brakes, discs and pads, heat shield repair, indicator stork replacement. That's it, nothing more. So there you have it. Those are the features of the 2010 Fiesta Titanium 1.4. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I have making it on my own in the middle of nowhere. Like, subscribe, and give me some comments. What do you think? £2,500. Deal or no deal? Thank you.